Any updates lately on McNeil or Mania?
Yeah, no. McNeil was hitting balls off the tee yesterday, so he's already swinging a bat. The goal was for him to move up to a front toss and things like that. Mania, same thing, just throwing, 90 feet and all that. So Alvi was doing receiving drills today, so that's a good sign. So yeah, that's the update I got there.
He's doing receiving drills with his bat hand.
Yes, with the where he had the injury. So I think it was with softer balls today, but he was already receiving, doing catching drills and all that. So
Do you think mid to late April on Mania and McNeil still realistic?
yeah, I mean, these oblique injuries are tricky. I don't want to put a timetable here because until they start from the position player side of things, until they start facing live pitching, they got to put their A swing. Same thing with pitchers, not only throwing their bullpen, but when they're facing hitters. We'll see how it goes when they get to that phase, and then we'll have a better understanding when they're going to be back.
When you told Max Kranik the other day that he made the team, did you get a sense of how meaningful that was to him, given what he's been through the last few years?
Yeah, and I was pretty serious at the beginning, so he didn't know which way I was going to go. So until I finally said you on the team, and he was like, you could see that sense of relief and the smile on his face. But I told him, man, the past few years, whether it was the Tommy John last year, the hamstring, taking out of the rotation, putting on the bullpen, and for him to be here on opening day, he needed to be proud. We were all proud of him. So.
You got Siri in the lineup. What kind of spring did he have, and what are you looking forward to seeing from this guy?
Yeah, I thought he had a good sprint. We saw the elite defense, what he can do on the bases, and when he hits it far. I like how he went about his business as far as his preparation, developing a routine in the cages, in the outfield with Antoine, in the bases, on the bases too. So for me, go out there and play your game. Not trying to do too much. Even though he didn't play the first couple of games, he's a guy that is going to play a lot. So go out there, control the strike zone. Whenever you get your pitch, put a good swing on it and let him do damage.
Are the strikeouts something maybe you just have to live with a little bit?
Well, yeah, we know there's swing and miss there, but I think he's made some good adjustments. Whether it's the late kick, you see him more spread out, more on his leg, trying to be shorter to the ball, and hopefully we see those results here, during the regular season.
Carlos, obviously last year, culture was a big part of your team. Culture was a big part of the team's story last year. At the beginning of spring training, you mentioned you guys have to start the foundation to create a new identity culture this year. 6 weeks into spring training, 2 games. How is that foundation, going right now?
Yeah, he's fluid. I like where guys are at as far as the team chemistry goes and things like that, and the connections and the relationship. But it continues to take some time. And winning helps too. But I think when you go through some tough times, you find out about your personnel, your people, and everything will go through adversity. But like I said, I thought coming out of spring training, we have a nice foundation here, and I like what I'm seeing from the boys.
Carlos, what did you see and learn about Kenny that you might not have known before that might have impressed you or encouraged you?
Well, I mean, pretty good athlete. He's a guy that can fill his position. But look, the way he spins the baseball, the slider, the changeups are real, and I think just his ability to absorb the information and the feedback that we're giving him, and applying into his game. I think this is something that we've seen some good results. Again, this was just spring training, but he was open for feedback. He was open for suggestions, and he took it into games. So that's what we want to see here. Today is a good test because this lineup, these guys are pretty familiar with him. This is a guy that was in this division for the past few years, and he knows the hitters. So we'll see what kind of adjustments he makes today, because they're going to make some adjustments to him too.
Are you the third game? Why was he good for the third game rather than Senga or Peterson?
Yeah, I think we like the matchup here too, and I think it was a combination of a lot of things. With Senga, we were building him up properly, and same thing with Peterson. But I think at the end of the day, we wanted the righties throwing against the Astros.
Are you staying away from back-to-backs with your relievers, or might you use some of the guys from yesterday.
Yeah, I might be able to use a couple of them today.
Pete Alonso said he's pretty excited about some of the defensive improvements that he's been working on. Where have you seen him improve in that respect?
Yeah, look, I think this is one of the, if not the best, picking balls in the dirt. I think yesterday was a pretty good example of it. The way he uses the whole bag, the footwork is elite. And then I think the timing of his pre-pitch, trying to get to that extra ball or two in the 4-hole or down the line. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes down to defensive numbers. Just getting a couple of extra balls range-wise, because he's got really good hands. If it's hit at him, he's going to make the play. So I think the biggest thing is, trying to extend him a little bit more.
With two, relatively new second basemen that you guys are working in, how nice is it to have like a steady defensive or a steady presence like Pete, first baseman?
Yeah, it definitely helps. I think that's part of the adjustments here. The communication between the first baseman and the second baseman. I thought yesterday we talked about that play that Acuna made, but Pete had a really good, really nice read. He broke towards the ball, first step, and then went back to the base right away. When a first baseman could easily just kept on going after the baseball, and then now you're talking about a pitcher covering first. So I thought yesterday was a good read, and that's what you want to see when these guys are kind of getting familiar with each other.
Do you have a sense of if Lindor's going to need to miss any time coming up for the childbirth?
It can happen at any time. It's been like that for the past week.
Very good.
Do you have an emergency catcher?
That's TBA.
Thank you, Carlos.